Gacha games are literally dropping like flies. When I first got introduced into the gacha genre, I never anticipated gacha games to shut down as frequently as they were released, or in this instance, over the course of the last 2 months, more frequently than they're being released. Last month, I did a video titled A Gacha Massacre, 10 gacha games shutting down this month. 2 weeks ago, Gacha Devastation, 9 gacha games shutting down this month. That was 19 gacha games over the course of approximately 5 weeks. That is fucking crazy. And now, just 2 weeks later, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different gacha games that have announced they are shutting down, for a cumulative total of 24 gacha games in a 5-week period. 24. Wrap your head around that, given there have only been approximately 4 or 5 gacha games that have been released within that same time frame. Before we go ahead and jump into another devastating video, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to push out videos like this every single day. Also, if you have a moment, consider following me on Twitch, where I stream new gacha games like this every weekend, or at the very least most weekends. So let's start this off with Closers RT. Now, Closers RT New Order, I actually did a video on this, I think. It was just like 2 days ago, maybe it was more recent than that. Yeah, right here, 2 days ago, titled, "This new gacha is dead in 2 days," and that is because Closers RT New Order launched, and within literally 48 hours, the developer issued an end of service announcement when he went on to state he was sorry, showcasing his unsatisfactory sides, that he wasn't keeping a close look on the game's development and the overall service. And the game launched to $19,000 in earnings over a 48-hour period. It was such a catastrophic launch that they had to completely shut the game down 2 days after launch. I don't know specifics because I'm not in active communication with Nautic Games, who are the developers in charge of both Closers Online and Closers RT New Order, but they did release a public announcement where they went on to state they were refunding everyone that made a purchase over that 48-hour window where the game was currently open and available. Now, this is actually incredibly depressing because Closers Online was a great MMO when I played it, and Closers New Order had some very attractive character models. Like, I was genuinely excited to get to at least try this game out. I mean, I'm glad I didn't, given it shut down, but at the same time, like, these characters are just so full of life and personality, and it's a shame we'll never get to really test them out as thoroughly as we'd like. Then, Space Leaper Cocoon. This is a game I've never heard of. Very interesting looking game based off of some of the images. Another game bursting with personality. So, Space Leaper Cocoon will be shutting down on June 28th after months of maintenance mode. We'll compensate players that decide to move to Space Leaper Reboot in the future. So, oh, hold on, wait, before we go, let's read this first. "We would like to thank you for your support and enjoyment of Space Leaper Cocoon. Today, we very much regret to announce that the connection between the proxies and Cocoon will be permanently severed. Though we may be parting ways, we're glad to have supported the connections that proxies have made between themselves and treasure the time we spent together. We're grateful for every meeting and wish you well in the future." So, interestingly, what they're saying is, we have Space Leaper Cocoon. This game didn't do that well. We're going to shut the game down after being in maintenance mode for months. We're going to, at a later date, create a new game called Space Leaper Reboot. This might be a remake. This might be them just rebooting the servers and relaunching the game under a slightly altered title. And if you play our new game, we will compensate you to some extent, whether it's with a little bit of in-game currency, whether it's with a special outfit, who knows? But they are incentivizing you returning and continuing to play a game that you already played in an attempt to boost the popularity of their newly released, older, already shut down game. That is a disaster in the making. The characters are weirdly, like, what am I looking at? This reminds me of Pantheon Stalking. How many of you guys watch Pantheon Stalking? Because that is what this very strongly reminds me of. Apparently this is kind of popular because there's a lot of fan art of it. Oh my god, a lot of very, you know, wow. Then we have Innocence. Now, Innocence is, I did a video on Innocence just a few months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago. And I went on to state that the game was actually, you know that, oh my god, my hair was, no one told me my hair looked that bad. But I remember the game was very hard, and yeah, I remember, yep, I remember that. It's one of the only good things about the game. Now, the game was kind of boring. It was just like a horizontal scrolling action game where you just kind of mash, like, let it auto battle or just mash like one button over and over. It was incredibly boring. Story was boring. Nothing at all about it that I actually enjoyed, but it launched only a few months ago and it is already shutting down on August 25th. This game was online for a couple months only. We have decided to terminate the service on Friday, August 25th. We apologize for contacting you so suddenly. It was sudden. Asobimo are admittedly known for making some pretty good quality games. They made what? Torum Online, Izanagi, I forget. A lot of MMOs. So it's actually genuinely surprising to see this game do so poorly, especially given the MMOs that they've created. Torum Online, Avabel Online, Arcus Online, Aruna Online, all having released like in the last 10 to 15 years, still remaining online. These are all games that have existed for 10, 15 years, and this game can't make it 6 months through its life. Graphically, the game was actually not bad either, so this is kind of sad to see it shut down, but at the same time, like outside of its graphics, it was kind of a shit game. And then finally, Kamehime Project and Rebelus Zwei got end of service announcements. Let's see, Kamehime Project has been discontinued as of the 14th of June. Kamehime Project is no longer available on Jonet. Literally, that was it. That was the entire announcement. Holy shit! Nothing on, not even like a post on an official blog or something. What is this game? Okay, this game actually looks like a browser game. Yeah, this game is absolute trash. It looks trash. It might not be trash, but it looks like trash. I understand why they shut this down. I guarantee you barely anyone played it. The other one, Rebelus Zwei. They're done by the same developer, which. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. That's fascinating. 2 stars out of 100 review. Oh, they got some. This is crazy. There are a lot. I feel like there was a lot of. Yeah. Wait, did I accidentally? I feel like there's a lot of reason to like this game. Like, so many reasons. I feel like. Yeah, they're just infinite reasons to like this game. Dude, I wonder if there's anywhere I can like download another version of this game from, because I'm not saying this is necessarily a good game. I'm just saying that I'm sure I can find, 1 or 2 reasons to invest a little bit of time into the game to really test it out. Now, that is a whole lot of gacha games shutting down, 24 over the course of the last 5 weeks. And we have a grand total of 5 gacha games, I think, to replace them with. One of which I actually just did a video on yesterday, Brown Dust 2, that is launching in the next, I don't know, week or so. I urge you to go ahead and check out if you haven't already. It is a gacha game that I genuinely had a lot of fun in. Or I guess just 8 days ago, I also tested out Idoli Pride, which recently launched as well. Both of which I urge you to go ahead and take a look at. Now, it's always sad to see a gacha game shut down, but it's never sad to see bad gacha games shut down. So ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this really matters. Now, if none of these games are of interest to you, then that is perfectly fine. I urge you to go ahead and click one of the 2 videos on screen right now that might hopefully be of more interest to you.